It is easy to have a happy marriage. That's right. You know why? It only takes two things to have a happy marriage. Number one, be nice to each other. And number two, cut out the lust. If you'll do those two things, I'm telling you, you'll have a marriage made in heaven. First, you got to learn to be kind to each other. And that should actually be simple because of all the people on the planet, it is your spouse that made the craziest commitment to marry you. So if you can't be nice to your spouse, who in the world can you be nice to? See, it doesn't make sense. You have the ability to be nice to the people at work. You have be nice to the people at church, to strangers. But what have they committed to you? Nothing compared to your spouse. That's why you got to cut out the bad language. You got to cut out criticizing and seeing the worst in each other. And if you keep on fighting with each other, I'm telling you, you're going to just make each other miserable. Just stop it. Start being nice. You'll never be happy until both of you start being nice to each other. But secondly, you have to cut out the lust. There's one commitment that you two made with each other, and that is you're going to be sexually faithful to each other. And I'm telling you, lust will ruin a marriage quicker than almost anything I can think of. And it is especially difficult in our sex-crazed culture. Now we see images bombarded. You go to a grocery store, you see magazines with scantily dressed women. You drive down the freeway and you see the same thing. With a click of a button, you can watch pornography and see all sorts of ugly stuff. And all of that can work on your mind to cause lust to be born. This is why you got to cut it out. You see, back in the old days, when Farmer Jones worked the farm, he didn't see any girls. He saw Betsy, the cow, and he saw some chickens. And when he came home, the only Betsy he knew was the cow. And when he saw his wife, she was gorgeous because he didn't have any comparison. He didn't see those images. But today, it's harder for both men and women. This is why it is so important that you cut out the lust in your life. Your wife would rather have you faithful and loving her only than you bringing home a box of chocolate and guilt flowers. No, friend. It's time. You got to be kind to each other. And you got to cut out the lust. You do those two things, I'm telling you, you'll have a marriage made in heaven.